everybody, I'm back. Everybody, Gina Young is back, and I'm back with yet another amazing recipe. I am so excited. Yet another day, because today at the Young's house, Gina Young is going to share with you all how easy it is to make delicious barbecued salmon. And we are going to make some flavored rice on the side. This recipe right here is so amazing. It's so easy to make, doesn't require a lot of ingredients, and you make it Gina Young style, it's going to be so tasty. Y'all never had my barbecued salmon before. Better make you some. Here are the lovely ingredients you're going to need. You're going to need some nice fresh salmon. Now, look at the salmon. Can we just sit and look at just how beautiful the salmon is? I have 3 pieces of salmon that I've already cleaned off, and we're going to season it up really good. And guess how we're going to make it? This is like a stress-free recipe right here. We're going to throw it in the oven, and it turns out so flaky. I couldn't be more excited to share with you all how easy it is to make this specific salmon recipe. When I come back, we'll get started. Let's get to cooking. Make sure your hands are impeccably clean. Let's get started with this really quick and simple, yet so tasty recipe. So now, hopefully, I'm giving you guys a good view today because I am recording myself. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and start to season up this gorgeous salmon that we have here. Now, instead of using salt, we are going to use the chicken powder. Okay, I am a true fan of using this chicken powder on my salmon. I tried it one time, maybe about a year ago, and I can't make salmon without the chicken powder on it. It really brings the salmon to life. Do you hear me? So if you never tried it, so many people, take a look down into the container. A lot of people ask me, they say, what is chicken powder and where can I find it? Well, you can find it in the spice section, and sometimes you can find it in your soup section where you would find like a chicken bouillon cube. Only it's not a bouillon cube, it is, the powder, okay? And it has so much flavor. So now we're gonna go in, a lot of times you'll see me season both sides, but today I'm just gonna season the top half of this beautiful salmon here, okay? So now that I have the chicken powder on just like so, keep in mind this has salt in it, that's why I'm not using salt today. Let's get some black pepper on there, just like so. You can never have enough. It has great antioxidants in it. Look at that right there. Ooh, and I have my oven preheated to 350 degrees. Now, during this video, I'm going to share with you all how you can tell when your salmon is done when you're cooking it in the oven. It's really interesting, but it's so simple. This right here is some nice parsley flakes. The parsley flakes is going to give you a great color when it's dried parsley flakes, but it's not going to give you flavor. There are some people out there that says, Gina, the parsley flakes has flavor. Well, me personally, I don't think it has flavor, but it does give a gorgeous color. And anything that I cook for someone or I'm going to eat myself, I like for it to look just beautiful. You hear me? And a lot of times parsley will do that. And sometimes paprika will do the same thing. So look at the color there. It's like so beautiful. We're going to go in with some garlic powder. I hope you all are having an amazing day today. Let me know in the comment section below, do you love salmon? Now, I didn't grow up eating salmon, so it wasn't something that I was a fan of. And I tried it several times and I still wasn't a fan of it. But then I started experimenting with different recipes and trying to put my own spices and my own flavors together. Once I started perfecting how to cook salmon, I fell in love with it. Not to mention that it's very, very, very healthy for you. So why not, Salmon is something that we have at least, maybe 3 times a month. Yes, 3 times a month. And I think you just have to have a palate for it, or you have to grow up eating it to understand its flavor, I hope I have Old Bay in there. Yeah, I do. Just gotta tap the bottle a little bit. Feel like it's about time for me to go out and purchase some more. Old Bay seasoning is going to really bring this to life. And I also want to talk about the Old Bay seasoning. On the bottle, it does tell you that it's not just for seafood. A lot of people think that the Old Bay seasoning is just for seafood, but I put it on chicken, I put it on pork chops, I put it in rices, and it really brings things to life. So now that we have this done, it's very important that we kind of let this sit for at least 12 to 15 minutes. We're gonna put it onto a cookie sheet, then we're gonna throw this in the oven, okay? And when I come back, we're gonna get started making some flavored rice on the side. Flavored rice goes perfect with salmon or couscous. A lot of time I'll make couscous and it is just like a match made in heaven. I kind of like the view that I'm giving you guys today. It's like a straight view of my island, all right? So now I'm just going to put the salmon right onto the cookie sheet, just like so. Keep in mind, we turned the oven on 350 degrees, okay? I have a whole lot of salmon recipes that you all would absolutely love, and I think what I'm gonna do for you all is I'm going to attach another salmon video to the end of this video so you can check that out. Just in case you want to make another type of salmon. You can enjoy both recipes or, you know, see which one you like best. Okay, so now look at this. I'm going to bring it close to the camera. I know we're pretty close, but I want you to really see. Look at that. Gorgeous. Okay, so now we're going to let that set for a minute. I want to wash my hands up and I'll be right back. So now I wanted to mention that you will need some butter. I like to put 2 tads of butter onto each piece of salmon, okay? Let me know if you're a person that says salmon or salmon. I know you can say either or, but I'd love to hear if you're the one that says salmon. I'd love to hear that. Okay, so now we have let our salmon sit for about 12 to 13 minutes. This is going into the oven right now. In the oven, get to cooking. The type of flavored rice that I like to use is the rice-a-roni. I grew up on rice-a-roni and I totally just love the different flavors that it comes in. You know, you could purchase the beef. You know, they have like a fried rice one. They have so many that just taste so amazing and is so easy to make. So now I have, let me show you. I want to show you, I'm going to look in the pan so you can see. You might be able to tell that I have some oil in the bottom of my pan. And what I'm trying to do right now is make sure that every piece of rice is covered in the oil. I want to get a beautiful golden brown color onto the rice before adding in that seasoning packet and that 2.5 cups of cold water. After the 2.5 cups of cold water goes in, you kind of bring it up to a quick boil. You know, you give it a nice stir, put your seasoning pack in, cover it, and turn it down on low for 20 minutes. It turns out perfect every time and so flavorful. So we're going to do just that, and I'll be right back. I'm so excited. This is what's for dinner today at the Young's house. And you may ask, well, Gina, well, how come you're not making any veggies? That's because I have a pot of greens in the refrigerator. So greens is going to be the veggie to go alongside of our barbecued salmon and this amazing rice. When I first started making rice-a-roni years ago, I made the mistake of using warm water to make the rice-a-roni, and it would turn out really funky texture. So then one day I decided, read the back of the box and see what you're doing wrong. Well, they don't say hot water. So I use cold water now, and it turns out perfect. So now I just wanted to come in and show you all. You see that color that we've achieved? That's going to give you a really nutty, delicious flavor. You hear me? Really it does. So take the time to get it nice and golden brown. Now when it comes to the oil, you could use oil or you can use butter to toast your rice. Let's go ahead, get our water in. And I'm going to turn the camera off for that because the water is going to be nice and steamy. We got our 2.5 cups of cold water in. Okay, let's go ahead and put this beautiful seasoning packet right in. And if you feel like you need a little bit more seasoning, put you some chicken powder in there. That's what this is, you know. All right. All right, so make sure you get all that goodness out of there. Bring it up to a boil. Cover it with foil, or if you have a lid, turn it down 25 minutes, perfectly done. Rice-a-roni, make you some. I am always so happy when my kitchen area is just really clean when I'm working, you know. All I have out is what I'm using and my 2 drinks there. But, you know, I have to keep my kitchen area clean, or I feel like I can't cook. Many people ask me, Gina, what are you drinking? I see your cup there. I guess, I don't know if people have an issue with me having a cup on the counter when I'm cooking, but I do have 2 different things. So right here, I have ice water, and right here, I have, it's a Dr. Pepper cream soda that is simply delicious. So that's what I have. Take a look at these bumps on the logs. So we have Prince there on the right, and he's knocked out cold sleeping. And we have Polo on the left. They're tired, and they love to hide under the table and sleep there. So now I wanted to come in right now and talk about the barbecue sauce and why I didn't put the barbecue sauce on. Give me 1 second, I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I wanted to come in and talk about, there's a couple of different ways you can do the barbecue sauce, okay? You can turn around and put the barbecue sauce on now if you wanted to, and I have done that, and it's turned out delicious. But I have found another trick. I feel like this way is better. And what I mean by that is you season it, you bake it half the way, and let them seasonings kind of seep down. Let the seasonings get baked. Look at that. Why I'm doing that. Let the seasonings get baked into the salmon. And then we're going to take it out of the oven, and then we're going to gently brush on some of this beautiful barbecue sauce, and then we throw it back in the oven. I feel like when you brush the barbecue sauce on, you can do 2 things. You can kind of it's almost like washing away the seasoning, if that makes any sense. But then some of you could say, well, Gina, well, how about you put the barbecue sauce on first and then put the seasonings on top of the barbecue sauce? I just don't feel like that will work. I feel like the seasonings will get lost into the sweet barbecue sauce. So when I tried it this way, where I seasoned my salmon, I baked it half the way. We're going to take it out, brush it with barbecue sauce, throw it in for the rest of the half of the way. Then it has turned out to be just perfect. Okay, so let's come in and talk about how you can tell if your baked salmon is done. Now, it would be the same way like I've told you all when we've cooked salmon on top of the stove. Now, what will happen if your salmon is pink, as it should be? Okay, so the whole salmon is pink. What's going to happen is at the bottom of the salmon, it's going to start to turn light. And once that light comes, it'll start from the bottom, and then eventually you'll see it getting lighter all through the middle, until it gets to the top. That's when you know that it's done. And literally, you'll see like a light line, okay? And that line goes all the way up to the top. You will know that it's done. That line will never go to the top and it's not done, okay? And it will cook to perfection. You want your salmon to be nice and juicy and flaky always. So as soon as that light line hits the top of your salmon, it's done. So now you may ask, where is the light line that you speak of, Gina? Let me show you. See that light line? See how it started to get light and it kind of stops right here? This is halfway done. But when that light stops right there, we are done. So now the seasonings, the butter has had a chance to kind of seep into there. And now I'm not afraid to kind of baste and I'm not rubbing the seasonings off, okay? Now I have the time to baste your favorite barbecue sauce right on top. You can baste the sides if you want to, but if you're a person that's unsure of, you know, if your salmon's gonna be done, leave the sides be, okay? Look at this. My family loves, loves, loves this recipe. This could even be made on top of the grill if you like. Absolutely it could. Could you put it in the air fryer? You bet you could. Our rice is almost done. We're going to throw this back into the oven so that the barbecue sauce can kind of set up a little bit, if you understand. And my mouth is salivating. Let me know in the comment section below, have you ever had a recipe like this? If you haven't, you're in for a treat. And I tell you what, anyone you make this recipe for, they're gonna go nuts over it, and they're gonna ask you, where did you get this recipe from? Be sure to tell them Gina Young showed you how. I can't wait to eat this. Ooh, I'm having the time of my life right now. Honestly, every time I get in this kitchen, I have the time of my life. I am so grateful for the gift that God has given me to share with the world. I love showing you all different recipes and some people how to cook, you know. And I go to bed and I cannot wait to wake up the next morning and make you guys another video. I really do. I really do. All right, look at that. That's enough. All right, don't get crazy with the barbecue sauce because you don't need too much. Don't overwhelm it. All right, back into the oven we go until the salmon is completely done. And then I want to show you all how flaky and juicy it should be on the inside when it's done. Our rice should be about done here in a few minutes. 20 minutes has passed. Look at this beautiful fluffy rice. It goes rice goes perfect with salmon. Baked potato goes perfect with salmon. Couscous, we always have couscous with salmon. Look at that. Ooh wee. Just come in and take a look at the salmon. If y'all enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. Tell your family and friends and everyone you know. Tell the whole world about Gina Young. Let's go ahead and say our prayer. And when I come back, I'm going to have this plated up and you can see how flaky it is. Heavenly Father, we thank you once again for a beautiful day. We thank you for our food and for protecting us. In Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen. Amen once again to my beautiful prayer. Let's go in. I gotta grab a fork. Thought I had one. Look at this. Here is the flake. Oh my. That's the flake. That's the flake you all are waiting on. Ooh, here's what we need to do. Because you just can't see it. Can't see it until I bring it up close. Look at that flaky. Look at how moist. This right here is what you call barbecued salmon, Gina Young style. I'm going in. I'm going in. Look at that. My goodness. Take another bite. God bless you all. Thank you all for watching. Good night. Ooh, look at that. Girl, you something else.